NANKS,
What's good, brother?
what's up, man?
Chilling, just hanging out, man.
How's life right now, man? It seems like things are getting, from my perspective, it seems like things must be getting hectic.
Yep, things are going crazy right now, social media-wise and just music-wise. Still working, just been working super hard, coming up with new ideas.
Yeah.
You know, just giving my fans the music that they want.
What's the majority, like when you're in your situation, what's the majority of like where all the stuff comes from? Like is it that like your DMs start blowing up or requests to your management, or like what does it look like when you're like catching steam like this?
A whole bunch of DMs, of course. People reaching out. My management as well, they reach out to my management, my comments on my Instagram and just on the snippets. They just want more snippets, more music, so they just keep on asking for it and do my best to like work efficiently and bring it to them. So
what's the craziest DM you've got so far? Is there any that you've opened up and been like, what the hell?
For me, I'd have to say as of right now, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah? What'd he say?
He said, "I see you, young killer." So we're on the right track right now.
That's good. Are you a big MGK fan?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like super huge, but I have a lot of respect for him, you know, being a white artist coming up in the music industry, and you know, I've been watching him for quite some time, so he's fire. I respect his work ethic.
Where are you from?
San Antonio, Texas.
And what was growing up there like for you? Like what type of stuff did you do? Just kind of like paint me the picture of like a young NANKS running through San Antonio.
So when it comes to my hometown, San Antonio, it's really family based. You know, I had all my friends lived in the same neighborhood as me, so we were just running up and down the street, going to each other's houses. But a lot of video games, like my whole family, like from my dad's, like my little brother would all just sit down and play computer games all life, and I was just always the type to try new things out. Like I'd play a lot of Call of Duty, World of Warcraft with my pops and my older brother. But yeah, and I started getting into music, so I just sit at the pad and just, like experiment. You know, I was really into music, so I would just see what I could do, write music in my room. I was just cooped up in my room, you know, just like hanging out with my friends that lived down the street.
Yeah.
So
was there like a moment, can you remember any moment when like either you had kind of that spark to start doing music, or when something hit you that like you're actually good at this, or you know what I mean? Like, is there any of those moments?
I remember when I was like 5 or 6, like in my room, my little brother on the bunk bed, and I was like, I couldn't go to sleep. You know, I had elementary school the next day. You know, so I would literally like be on my desk. Because like my brother would be like sleeping underneath me. I had the top bunk. And I just remember like writing music, just because like a lot of my inspiration comes from my older brother. He used to be like, he used to have a band like all through his life, and he did the battle of the bands and stuff. So just seeing him work on music like reflected a lot on me to at least try it out. You know, and then my mom like would sing, so I guess that's where I got my voice from when she was in like high school.
Got it.
So.
And then what about like, who was some of your biggest inspirations when you were younger?
When I was younger, so when I first started music, I wasn't necessarily singing. I was trying to do the rapping stuff, but I have I've been told I have a unique sort of voice, so I felt myself is when I would do the rapping stuff, it never really sounded right. I could never get it to sound right. And it would take a lot more effort on my half than I felt like it was supposed to be. So I just started singing, and like it just felt right. You know, it was easy for me to do, and like I could keep a melody or come up with good melodies, and I feel like that's what makes a good song. So that's what I ended up doing. So.
And like, what did it look like when you were first recording? Because I'm guessing you probably started recording yourself in San Antonio, right? Did you just go buy like a crappy mic from the store, and like what did it look like?
So yes, I did buy like a home studio setup to start out, and then I like a whole bunch of my friends. So since it's Texas, it's mostly country music over where I'm from. So it's like coming by a real hip hop recording studio was kind of like rare. But then so I had my little team at home with all my friends, you know, and one of them was an aspiring engineer. So he had found an engineer and ended up getting close with the people at the studio, and that's where we would go to record. So it was most like in my house I would like practice my melodies. I was never really a good engineer. I didn't have like a house engineer, so I would just like feel the song out and see how it would come out, and then I'd take it to the studio and then take it from there. That's when I recorded my first album.
And then how did you know it was time to make the big move to LA? Like, that's a scary move. You know, I'm from Ohio. I remember moving to LA. It was like super daunting and sort of scary, but obviously as like a creative or, you know, an artist like you have to move somewhere, right? It's either gonna be New York or LA, or, you know, whatever. So when did you know like the time was right to make that move?
Well, I would have to say when one of my managers, Juan, reached out to me. I was still doing my own thing. You know, I started to get a little buzz off social media, just making these little like flex videos or whatever. You know, it wasn't even really about the music yet, but I was still working on it, like trying to find myself through the music. And he had reached out to me because of my image, and he lives in LA, so he happened to be in San Antonio, Texas at the time. He saw me on the Explore page, and he hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, like I'd like to come through and meet you, see what you're about. Here's my number. We'll exchange information." But he had a flight out back to LA the next morning, and so we were like, "Okay, let's just stay in contact." And then the next day, he ended up FaceTiming me, say, "Hey, I missed my flight. Like, where you at? Let's link up." And he came through. We just talked stuff over, and he liked what I had, and he had some stuff going for himself. So it was time. I was visiting him back and forth, but then we just made the move out here. So
was it like scary to you at all, or no?
Not really. It was a lot for me to take in, because I always knew I wanted, because my older brother lives out here, and I always knew like that was a step. That's where I wanted to be through like family vacations my whole life. Just coming out here with my family, I always knew like this is where I wanted to be, like the best place, but I just never knew how I'd do it. The next thing I know, I'm living here, you know. So I guess it's so good. It happens, man.
And then what about like, so from my perspective, like I originally came across you from Instagram. And the way that it looked from my perspective was like you started making these videos singing your songs into the phone, and those things just like took off and went viral. Is that what even happened? Like, how did it look like from your perspective, where it went from just, I'm just trying to make this shit happen, I'm just putting out content, to like really getting a boost? Or did it not even feel like that to you?
Well, it definitely did, because what I was doing before, that wasn't my plan. Like my plan through social media was just to make videos that were like, I guess, clickbait, or because my image, you know, I would just be like, oh, people want to see the image, so I'd do the best I can to make those type of videos. But then one day I just had my friend, he was coming to pick me up when I actually lived out here already, probably within the first couple months. And I was writing some music, and at that time I was just starting to like, get a sense for the melodies and stuff. And I found a beat that really appealed to me from Profile, and I just, right before he said he was outside pulling, we were gonna grab some food, so he was coming to pick me up, and right before I walked out of the door, I just made like a quick little video so I like could keep the melody in my head so I don't forget it. And that happened to be the video, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna post this. I'm just gonna post this real quick before I leave, and I've never seen no feedback like that compared to the other stuff. So like that came, I knew that was the right waves. I lost my heart when I was young, 2 pieces of the puzzle gone. I couldn't even finish it. Nothing more to make you proud. That's why I play my music loud. Was it
pretty instant too? Like, were you like eating and you're like, oh shit, this is working, and then all of a sudden like, oh shit, and like, is that how it felt?
I think at the time I was getting like 3,000 or 4,000 likes like on my pictures. And I think in the first hour on this video I had like 8,000. Or so I knew something was different.
That's so good. And then it just led to a wave of followers and like just general awareness, right?
And leading to my last snippet. My last snippet really took it over, like took it to the next level, I feel.
That's so good. And then like would that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would that translate to you telling like young artists that are up and coming right now that maybe don't have a platform or whatever, like should they just be posting everything and putting everything out there? Is that like what you learned from it, or is it still be still be super specific with what you do, or like what would you say that you learned from that experience?
Well, for me, I guess it was trial and error. It took, it's patience. You know, patience is key, and as long as you're following like your dream, like with everything you have, and you're just consistent with it. You put your time into it, and you make that your main focus, and put everything into it. For me, it was trial and error. As like I was still finding myself and finding how I fit into the industry, and what I did best, and what people liked the most. So I'd say it was.
Yes, you just gotta try, and if it doesn't work, delete it, keep moving, try something else. That's so good. And then what about like now? Obviously, like, you know, there's a little bit more, you know, awareness or pressure, maybe depending on how you take it. And I know that you're working a lot. You're always in the studio. Like, what, as far as when it comes to inspiration, right, as a topic, how do you find inspiration? What do you do when you don't have any, but you feel like there's this pull you need to do something and do some work? Like, how do you treat it? Or are you just generally like pretty in a good place right now with all that?
Right now, I feel like I'm in a good place with it, just because I have a better understanding of my role in this, and how what like I'm good at now, or what I'm like the melody stuff. But as far as it would be is I'm pretty comfortable, but it does get hard at times, whether it comes to like writing music, talking about different topics, because right now it's just the same stuff. Like, I try to put myself in other people's shoes when it comes to writing music, because I feel like I can grasp or like understand people's situations when it comes to relationships, or just like life struggles and life issues.
So you just kind of stay open-minded, draw it from anywhere. That's so good. And then another big thing that like I love about your stuff is you're incredibly positive. Like, your whole vibe, like when you post pictures, it really shines through in like what you're doing. Is that something that is like a conscious effort, and the positive aspect of all of it is really important to you?
Yes.
Or, how do you look at that?
I feel like that's something that this industry doesn't really have right now, is the positive side of it, and why not? You know, I come from a family that's I come from a Mormon family, so that means going to church every Sunday, and part of that whole spiel is you go to church, you're 18, you get up and you go on your mission, serve for 2 years, and for me, I graduated high school early. I did online school, so sophomore year, I ended up graduating from high school so I can get a head start on what I wanted to do, because I had no idea. You know, I knew music was, but it's like, at that time, it seemed so far-fetched. Like how am I, you know? So
it's a big.
So I had to. So that was the plan, you know, going on my mission. But I realized that, hey, not that I don't want to do it, but if I could, like, I kind of made a promise to my family, and so I'd say, God, like, if you make this work out for me, then why go on a mission and knock on doors for 2 years when I could speak to millions of people across the world, and potentially change people's lives just through positivity, and just to make sure, like, to look at the better side of life, just work super hard on what you love, and if you really are true to what you love doing, it's going to work out for you. So I just try to be as positive as I can to my supporters and stuff. So
that's
super important to me.
I think it's so cool that you have like that. I don't know. I feel like when you have that like purpose to what you're doing, you know what I mean? And it's not just like, oh, I want to sell 1 million albums, or I want to get super rich, or like, you know what I mean? Like it can help push you through those more difficult times, you know? One of my questions too, and the answer might be the same, is like, when you really look at, let's just say right now, you're about to become a superstar, right? You're going to sell millions and millions of albums. You're going to sell out stadiums. What do you hope you accomplish through that? Like, what do you hope your music makes people feel? What do you hope at the end of the day, when it's all over, people say, man, NANKS did this, more so than just sell albums? And is it the positivity?
Positivity, yeah, and I just want people to know that they could do it too. You know, because I was in a position to where it was like, that seems ridiculous. Like, that seems almost impossible to become that, you know, because I would just study. I just watch interviews. Like, I feel like I watch interviews of other people, and they all say the same thing, like they watch interviews and stuff. But it's really just like that they could do it too. Like through hard work, consistency, just believe in yourself and work hard enough, and if you make the sacrifices that are needed in your life, whether it be like for me, it was a mission, you know, that if you have good intentions to what you want to do, then it'll work out for you.
Yeah.
If you work hard enough.
What's coming up? I saw you now have moved from filming selfie videos to full music videos.
Yep.
Right? Your first music video came out. It's incredible.
Yep.
You've been.
It's not out yet. It's on the way.
Oh, where did I just saw the clip.
This, yeah, you saw the snippet on my
Okay,
Instagram.
so the snippets look incredible.
Yep.
Huge leap from, you know, a Snapchat filter. And, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then I know that you're also working with other artists. What do people look out for?
I just dropped my single Confessions, so then go stream that. Music videos on the way. I have been putting a whole bunch of singles that I've recorded over the years to a few weeks ago, putting the best stuff together to try to get myself an album or a project prepared. So working on branding that, putting a message behind it, and you know, I got a little bit of poetry in there, a little bit of just some different stuff. So music videos, visuals.
Are you not okay? Still trying to find a way. You don't know what I become. I lost my heart when I was young. 2 pieces of the puzzle gone. I couldn't even finish it. Want nothing more to make you proud. It's why I play my music loud. I'm standing here but falling down. Please help and flip my world around.
And then what about like? Are you going to be signing a massive record deal, or are you going to do this independently? What's your thoughts on that?
For now, independent. I got an amazing team behind me.
Yeah.
People I love and people that support me and love me. So it's really a family effort. We all in this together. So we're working super hard right now together, the cozy corner way.
Yeah.
You know, so we doing our thing. We got our own cozy crib.
Yeah.
So we just working independently right now. People are trying to reach out, but we're hearing everyone out, you know, people that are trying to work together, but we got a good thing going right now, so we're going to keep, it's working right now, so we're going to keep it going and until it's time for another step or something else.
Okay, last but not least, what does it mean to you to be young and reckless?
To be young and reckless?
Yeah.
It's die hard about everything, like on a reckless sense or on a young sense. Just for me, like, I'm young in this game, I'm 20, so just, I mean, I'd say it's pretty reckless for me just to get up, leave San Antonio, and come out here and like, it's this or nothing, you know what I mean? So just follow your dreams, I guess.
Yeah.
Do what you love.
That's it. That's what I want it to mean, so you nailed it.
Awesome, bro.
We did it, man. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, thank you.
I'm really excited to see what happens with you, and I think, you know, a lot of times you come across a cool moment or a cool song or a cool video, but like the positivity and the like humbleness and all that you have, I think I've met a lot of young artists, and I think like you're going to be huge. So I'm just excited to have this moment locked in time forever, and thanks for doing it.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
We did it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Guys, if you like that and you want to see more like it, as well as vlogs, other web series, and all the random stuff that I'm doing here on YouTube, don't forget to click that subscribe button. You won't regret it, I promise.